Hey guys, my name's Cameron, or Cam. Let me introduce myself real quick. I'm 27. I live in Texas. Graduated in 2019 with my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Since then, I've been working in mental health, social work, that type of stuff. But really, the whole point of this channel is to express and show the things that I really care about and really that I am passionate about, hence the name Cam's Hobbies. Uh, I have various hobbies that I'm into, things I've been doing for a long time, things I haven't been doing as long. But just, it's, a real passion for me, and I thought it'd be fun to do something that's different for me, a little bit outside of my comfort zone, so I'm jumping off the deep end a little bit, just trying something new. So forgive me if this video is a little stuttery or has some weird moments as my first. But anyways, like I said, the whole point of the channel is to share what I'm into, share the things that I do, my various interests, and also I want to hear what you guys are into. So if there's something, hopefully if you're new to whatever hobby you're looking for, maybe I can hopefully give you some information. If you have something that you think I might be into, also, put it in the comments and I will definitely check it out. So some of the things I'm really into right now, or have been for a while, are the biggest one is video games, obviously, as you guys can tell by my desktop. And I put the camera smaller so you guys can kind of see that. First-person shooters. I'm really into the tactical stuff. I played Rainbow Six Siege for about 5 years straight. It was the only game I played. Did some ESL tournaments, stuff like that. Was on a team. Nothing crazy or noteworthy, but it was just something I enjoyed. Since Siege has kind of gotten off my interest level, I really got more in. I still wanted more of that tactical gameplay, so I got into like Arma, Squad, War Thunder, Insurgency, stuff like that. Still the first-person stuff, but I've kind of been venturing into other things. A lot of Apex, PUBG, stuff like that. Single-player stuff. So going from video games, Star Wars is also another huge thing I've been into since I was as small as I can remember. Movies, books, toys, pops, video games, you name it. I probably played it or tried it. Just something I've always loved. Just that other world that exists, that other universe, and so I love it all. I collected a lot of pops, read a lot of the EU books, I just love it. Can't get enough. Other thing that is probably my biggest thing now, since I graduated college, is World War II history and reenacting. Again, ever since I can remember being a small child, loved World War II. I used to go to flea markets with my grandparents, and they would, take me around, help me find stuff, buy stuff that I was interested in, and I immediately, if I saw a helmet, if I saw a pin, a bat, any kind of, award, newspaper, anything, I would pick it up. As I got older, I started to learn more and see more, and I loved it, fell in love with it. The first military in World War II, other than the United States, that really caught my eye was the Germans. Being a young kid, I didn't really realize what had happened at that point in history. But just seeing them, marching in their, Hugo Boss uniforms and just looking, like the baddest guys. Well, I guess they kind of were the baddest guys, but, on the planet. It just struck me as a kid. I was like, oh my God, the way they carry themselves is just impressive. And their uniforms and their gear and their weapons are just so cool. Obviously, when I got older, I learned more about, the bad things that did happen in the war. But still, I became more with the military history side of it is what really obsessed me. So I've got a pretty extensive collection of, original World War II items, weapons. I got everything from, rifles to a typewriter to books to, uniforms. So along with that really sparked my interest in reenacting. I went to my first reenactment when I was about 16 in Gettysburg and was just like, oh my God, this is badass. I need to do this. At that time, I couldn't really do it financially or because of my age. So, I went to college, graduated, and finally I was at a point financially and, with time and stuff where I could really, dive into it. So I joined a unit here in Texas. I do World War II German reenacting. I know some may see that as like, oh my God, why do you do that? Again, it goes back to my childhood. The first thing I saw was just those guys in those uniforms. So that aesthetically drew me to it, but also their military, the way they operated as a military, their tactics, their strategy, what they were able to do in combat just mesmerized me. And also, it's so much, as far as the collecting aspect of it, it's a lot more unique, in my opinion. And when the reenacting and, when we go to public events and have to share history and stuff, I think in order to do German reenacting well, you have to really broaden and also focus your knowledge at the same time to be able to share an accurate portrayal, and also realize and express that during that time in period, that time in history, they were also soldiers. Most of their normal army, not talking about the death camps and stuff. They're army guys. There was an individual story of each individual soldier. A lot of them were conscripted. Some volunteered. Why do they volunteer? What was it like during that period in history that made them, want to do that? So I think in order to do it successfully, you have to, really expand your knowledge and be willing to share all of history and share, I've been talking to people at public events who are like, oh man, I didn't know that. Or, wow, I never really looked at it that way, just what we were told in school. So it gives you an opportunity to share new things that people might not know. So I love it. I've been doing it for about 3 years. And it's just, I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It's my favorite thing in the world, getting to go out in the woods and camp. I guess the immersion is what reenactors call it. Being out there in the uniforms in the woods, with with a really good close knit group of people, and all striving to have just a good experience, camping over the cook fire, live firing weapons and learning how the weapons worked, training new people. It's just an awesome experience, whether you do Allied or Axis. The other biggest thing is Warhammer 40k. It's my newest obsession, I guess, is the best way to put it. But my best friend has been into it a little bit longer than I have, probably about 2 years. And he finally started trying to get me into it, and I was like, I don't really know. Like, there's a lot to it. I've never really heard about it. I feel like it's too late to get into it, But so I gave it some time, and then one day I was just like, I'm gonna watch a 4.5-hour video on the lore of Warhammer, and I was just like, oh my god, this is insane. Like I thought Star Wars was cool, but Warhammer, just how fleshed out the universe is, the detail, all the different factions, and the chaos, the Imperium, the immaterial versus the material. Space Marines, the AdMech, who you can see on my my backgrounds, chaos, the demons, and the warp, and all this cool shit. And I was just like, oh my god, this is insane. So, I normally I read a lot sci-fi, fantasy, a lot of space opera stuff like that. But I was like, and also the Star Wars stuff. But I was like, I really want to I want to read Warhammer. So I bought my first book, the Dark Imperium trilogy. I finished it all in about 3 months, about a month per book, give or take, just depending on what life was like at that time. But and so I was just like, oh my god, this is insane! Like, I love it. So then I finished those. I just finished the Krieg book in 3 days, and now I'm starting on the Blood Angels trilogy, and it's insane. Like I said, I just can't get enough of it. The lore, the music, the books, the people that know about it are so knowledgeable. The models, I'm working on finishing my first kill team right now with some Skitarii guys, the guys you see on my background. I'm working on finishing them. After that, I already have plans to do more, and I can spend 8 hours a day just painting. And it's just, like I said, it's just insane. But anyways, yeah. So the whole point of this channel is to kind of show you what I'm into. In future videos, I'm hoping to go into more detail about stuff. So we'll do one on reenacting, we'll do one on Warhammer, we'll do one on my Star Wars stuff, we'll do books, things like that. And I want to try and be as knowledgeable as I can on these things for you guys. So if you're interested in reenacting, ask questions. If you're interested in Warhammer, ask questions. I may not be an expert, but I try my best. And if I don't know it, I can give you sources to go find out good information. Star Wars, if you want good book recommendations. Even if it's just sci-fi stuff. Like I said, I'm just an all-around nerd. I love it. Can't get enough of it. And like I said, the whole point of this is to share and build a community of like-minded people who just, enjoy doing the things they enjoy and share. So hopefully I can inspire you. You can inspire me to get into different things. Um, I you know I know this first video might be a little stuttery or not flow as well as some of the stuff you're used to watching, but like I said, this is very new for me, really going out on a limb. But it's just something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, so I said, screw it, I'm going to do it. Other than streaming on Twitch occasionally, I haven't done much as far as content creation. But yeah, we'll do that. I'll try to post clips of me playing my games. Right now I'm really into Warhammer Darktide, Warhammer Mechanicus, awesome games. Hell Let Loose, Arma, War Thunder. You can see them all right there. Tarkov, which is a love-hate relationship. I think that's how it is with everybody though. But yeah, man, I just as far as and I like spending time with my friends in Discord. I like spending time with my buddies that I reenact with. Some of the best people I know in the world, the kindest people that I know in the world. I talk about it all the time. I talk about all this stuff all the time to my parents, my family, my girlfriend. I'm sure they all get a little, like, oh my God, he's, talking about Warhammer again, or he's talking about reenacting again, or blah, 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 blah. But it's the things that I absolutely love in this world, besides my girlfriend, who I love extremely, and my cats. But yeah, like I said, hope you guys like and subscribe. Be kind. This is my first video, but I'm also open to feedback. But yeah, I hope to